Hey everyone, it's Callum from Cagefront. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, welcome to the channel. We've just had UFC 316 just take place, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2, and this card definitely delivered. It was in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and we went 9 out of 13 on the card. And obviously, I wasn't at the event, I'm in Australia, but literally even hearing it on the screen, like the audio, the crowd was just going absolutely nuts. There were some great moments in this card, and I will get into a lot of the best fights. We'll get through the main event, the co-main event, and I'll be giving my fight card awards as well. So we got a fair bit to talk about, so let's get into it. Now, firstly, we've got Merab not only beating Sean O'Malley, submitting Sean O'Malley, finishing Sean O'Malley. This guy is 100% the bantamweight GOAT now. I mean, he's beaten guys like Henry Cejudo, Petr Yan, he's beaten Umar Nurmagomedov, he's beaten Jose Aldo, he's beaten Sean O'Malley twice now. He is looking absolutely incredible. It's just not an argument there for him as the bantamweight GOAT, and whether he is not, he just simply is. He's looking incredible. He's not slowing down, clearly, with that freaking cardio, and he is literally just beating everyone with so much confidence. You look at him in this fight, you look at him in the Umar fight, you look at him in the first Sean fight. He's just growing and growing and growing with confidence. He was not scared to strike on the feet with Sean through this fight. He was doing a fantastic job with that erratic movement along the outside, especially as well pressuring forward too, which I did mention in the hot take video of why I thought that Merab Dvalishvili would be able to just dominate Sean O'Malley in this fight, which he did. So thankfully got the hot take right this time. But yes, honestly, such a great performance from Merab Dvalishvili. He did a great job of not only utilizing the striking with, especially how underrated it is, especially with his counter like hooks and his striking on the front foot as well. Just extremely impressive. And when it was against the cage, he was doing a great job of just really tying Sean up, being able to use that like outside reap, trip him, get him to the ground. Sean would try and get himself back up. Merab would just slide him out again, drop him back down. That just pumps the stamina out of you, and you could tell that Sean was waning from round to round to round, just like the first fight, but he had an even worse start. I mean, Sean landed a couple of strikes, literally just a couple. That's all he was able to land in this fight. Sean, the biggest mistake he made was pretty much just going on the back foot along the outside pretty much instantly, because Merab, he was scared about overextending, clearly, and getting taken down in the middle of the octagon, which granted is bad, but Merab can still grind you against the cage, which happened in the first fight too. So the thing is there's no safe position for Sean O'Malley there. He needed to go balls to the wall and try and take Merab's head off, because you're getting taken down anyway. It doesn't matter. You're going to be getting taken down. I will say Sean, especially early on, his takedown defense, look, wasn't the greatest, but his get-ups were very good. He was able to get back to his feet very well, but in a sense, the way that Merab actually stylistically works his wrestling, he doesn't actually mind if they get back up to their feet, because he just drags them back down and then depletes their cardio. That's the way he really utilizes that kind of wrestling, and that's why he's been so successful, because his cardio is just freaking outmatched. It's just insane. But Sean O'Malley, he just didn't have anything. He realistically didn't have anything in this fight, and there's no excuse there for him. I mean, granted, having the torn labrum is a bad injury. It's a very bad injury with the torque within the hips. You can't wrestle or anything like that, and that could have affected him in the first fight, but now it's cemented within this second fight. Injury or not, it just doesn't matter. Merab is simply a better fighter than him. Plain and simple. He's got the winning formula against a Sean O'Malley type of fighter. Stylistically, it's just a mismatch. It's a nightmare matchup for Sean, because Sean is one-dimensional to that extent, and Merab, as we can tell from fight to fight to fight, he is literally improving at all facets of the game. His striking looked incredible, as I said before, using really nice check right hooks when Sean would be advancing, and then also utilizing nice flurries on the front foot. He wasn't scared. Merab just wasn't scared of what Sean had to offer on the feet. And you could tell with Sean's primary motive there was targeting Merab's body, which completely makes sense. I mean, in the 5th round of their first fight, he hurt Merab with the body shot, and he was looking for that again early, because if he got that early, he was a lot fresher to try and take him out. So that makes complete sense, but doing that on the front foot, not the back foot, where Merab was able to and did grind you against the cage. That's pretty much it there. So yeah, Merab going into that third round, I mean, getting him on his back. As soon as I saw his chest just slump on Sean's head, I was like, this is done. Sean's just got no leverage there. And you know, when it comes to top control, Merab's body, like his upper body, is just so much more muscle dense than Sean's. And he's just going to be winning those kinds of battles when it comes to that ground game. He's just simply stronger. And Sean, even with him, I mean, he did pack on a bit of muscle there. Joe Rogan was saying it, and I did notice it as well. But it doesn't really matter. It didn't really equate to anything, honestly. And I mean, Sean was getting tagged. Sean was getting tagged by Merab, especially when he was getting pushed up against the fence because he was trying to find that counter shot. And Merab, by the time that was happening, Merab was landing like 2 to 3 strikes on his head. So there just really wasn't much there for Sean as an out. And Merab Dvalishvili just gets another title defense. He's beaten Nurmagomedov and he's beaten Sean O'Malley now like twice, which is just incredible. Corey Sandhagen is next. I will fucking riot if we don't get Corey next. He is without a doubt deserving off that title shot. And I believe that Corey Sandhagen is definitely a more dangerous fight. Definitely a more dangerous fight than Sean O'Malley for sure, because of Sean O'Malley being more so one-dimensional and Corey having really good scrambling capabilities. Merab's going to have to be more careful on the ground when it comes to Corey in those positions to see if Corey could possibly scramble and reverse him, which is a bit of a long shot in saying that. I do think when that fight does take place, I think it's got Merab as a decision kind of written all over it. But Corey does have these striking tools to really threaten Merab. He's got good vertical-based strikes, as we know, like a flying knee to Frankie Edgar's chin. And then he's also got good shots like uppercuts up the middle. He's got good teeps as well. He is dangerous and he's very, very good with his movement and he's stayed extremely active. And yeah, Merab, especially on the ground, needs to be careful within that fight. But I just believe with that pacing overall, I think Merab can take that fight, but it won't be easy. I will say that. Corey is an absolute gamer. But yeah, congratulations to Merab. I mean, he aligned with my hot take, got that one right. He did such a good job of realistically just suffocating Sean O'Malley, sticking to that pretty much same game plan he had before, but just had better striking. Honestly, just looked fantastic. Now, I believe that Corey Sandhagen fight will probably happen around, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like October, November. Since September isn't going to be having a pay-per-view, it's going to be hard for Merab to meet that 4-fight quota that he wants unless he fights in August, which honestly, Merab and Corey could fight in August. I mean, they realistically could. They could actually get a fight going there. And I'd love to see Merab on not Shea UFC because, you know, he's like that kind of fake real Mexican compared to Henry Cejudo. So they definitely could possibly get an August to then like maybe in November. I mean, they're wanting to have a pay-per-view in New York, which, as we know, Merab was originally from New York. He's fighting at Syndicate MMA with John Wood, so he's more on the Vegas side now, but obviously Sarah Longo is through New York as well, so that is kind of a second home to him, so he definitely wants to be looking at that card as well through November. So it could be August, November, but it depends if Corey wants that turnaround for August, but if not, I think it's going to be either October or November that we see Merab versus Corey. Now, Sean O'Malley, what's next for him? Sean O'Malley, regardless, even though he's lost, he's still a fan favorite. He's still a star. He's still got stock in the UFC, in MMA in general. So they're going to want to have good fights for him. Now, that's where I'm thinking, I don't believe they're going to give him Umar Nurmagomedov. I would be quite surprised because Umar and Sean are on the younger side. They're like 28 and 30 years old. Merab's up to the 34 years old age range. So he's more like leaving that prime age range technically. And if we look at another 3 years time when Merab's 37 and then we've got Umar who's like 31, 32 and then Sean's about 33, 34, that's when we could be looking at a change of the guard and potentially Umar has the title then, maybe Sean has the title then. And basically long-windedly, we realistically, I mean, being the UFC, if you're in their shoes, you realistically want to see Umar versus Sean as a title fight. You want that pay-per-view points. People are going to be in tune to that without a doubt. That's probably the biggest fight you can make in terms of fan service. I think that's a fight that they can make. So I don't think they want to be doing it for a fight night. even as like I wouldn't even think it would be a pay-per-view co-main. I think they want that as a headliner of some sort. So that means it's a bit tricky to see who Sean O'Malley's going to fight next, but I do believe if it's not going to be Umar, I'm pretty confident it's going to be Petr Yan. Now, Petr Yan obviously already fighting Marcus McGee coming up this year. I do believe Yan gets through Marcus McGee. He's just a little bit too technical on pretty much all MMA facets, and I think unless he's getting knocked out in the first round, I think Yan's got that pretty handedly. But I do believe the Yan and Sean O'Malley fight just makes a lot of sense. Sean's going to take a bit of time off. I mean, he's literally gotten finished, and then we've got Yan, who if he gets through Marcus McGee, I don't think it's going to be a crazy fight where he's going to need a lot of time off. I think that can really line up. Plus, they've also got a storyline together. They don't like each other. Yan definitely doesn't like Sean. They obviously had the controversial split decision where it went Sean O'Malley's way, and Yan has literally been tweeting. He's been saying in press conferences, he just does not like him. He thinks that Sean is just getting shit handed to him. And he's literally already tweeted that Sean's been handed the title, and this is what happens when you're handed things. He loses. So, yeah, Yan's already chirping at Sean, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make that one because it's a fight that definitely sells even though it's a rematch. I mean, the striking class from both of them is just insane. Their first fight was absolutely incredible, and I think we could definitely see that happen later in the year, to be honest. You know, there's other guys like Mario Bautista, but Mario Bautista, I feel sorry for this guy, honestly. Bautista, he seriously looked great in this fight with Patchy Mix, and he's just getting shat on because of the Jose Aldo stuff. He didn't even get a post-fight speech. I think it's just ridiculous, to be honest. But yeah, Mario Bautista, definitely a contender. But I don't think they're going to make that happen because what happens if Bautista beats Sean O'Malley? That's when they're like, oh shit, now we're in the pits. So yeah, ultimately I think Sean versus Yan and then Merab versus Corey Sandhagen. That's what we got coming up. But yeah, great fight. Dominant win from Merab Dvalishvili. Honestly, it looked fantastic. Now, moving on to the co-main event, we have got Kayla Harrison versus Julianna Pena. Kayla Harrison is the new champion, as I thought. I did think she would get a KO TKO finish in this fight, literally within the second to the third round, but she got the submission instead, and she did what she needed to do. She needed to get this fight done before the championship rounds because the longer the fight goes on, the better chances Pena has with the cardio. Obviously, the weight cut from Kayla Harrison, absolutely massive, but credit to her. She did not have any issues with the scale. She did a fantastic job, fully professional the whole way through, and looked fantastic the whole way through. As I've said before in predictions, you know, Julianna Pena's striking is absolute dog shit. You know, she just literally has the weirdest way of just having a stance. Like, she's got her elbows flared. She is literally leaning off to one side to the right, which Kayla Harrison was picking up on with the jab and the high kicks as well. And the front kicks, she was doing a good job there. And yeah, Pena just didn't have much to offer. In the clinch-based exchanges, I mean, she was trying to get an underhook and trying to get a whizzer as well to stop the takedowns. Kayla Harrison just didn't care, just literally dragged her through the mud, got her down, and cinched a really nice Kimura finish without even having to step over the head. That's how tight that was. She got a lot of pressure from side control. And yeah, took her out. Not surprised in the slightest, to be honest. Yeah, Pena has a 6-1 dog. Granted, I thought that was a little bit, a little bit out of control, I'd say. I thought that probably should have been around a $3 to a $4. But still, Kayla Harrison just showed that she was the rightful champion. She was absolutely dominant. Pennington should have been the fight for Kayla Harrison because Pennington won the fight over Pena in the first place. So this is kind of setting things in the right direction now. And now we got Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes, which is saving the division. We're finally getting this fight. It's going to be a great fight because Kayla Harrison has got to be careful on the feet, and then Amanda Nunes has got to be careful on the ground. Not necessarily a clash of styles. They're both like decent all around, but there's definitely identifiable advantages for each girl. So I'm very keen for that fight. Both very respectful as well. I mean, you want a bit of drama, but I think between these two, we're going to get everything we need when it comes to the actual fight in the cage. So I'm definitely keen for that one. The landscape of that division, I mean, we can see Julianna Pena, honestly, I will not be surprised if she actually fights like Norma Dumont. I think Norma Dumont is definitely the dark horse of that division. I think she has the ability to beat Amanda Nunes or Kayla Harrison. Not like convincingly or anything like that, but she does have the ability at the best of, if she's the best of her day, She's like in her prime form. I think she can do it. She's got really nice boxing, absolutely carved Irina Aldana's face to fucking bits at UFC 306 at the Sphere. Yeah, honestly, I was really hoping Kayla Harrison did win this fight. I do like her as a fighter, to be honest. She's great, even though she gets a lot of shit for being like, you know, having probably twice as much muscle as me. But yeah, honestly, great job. Fantastic Kimura finish, and I am so keen to see that Nunes versus Kayla Harrison fight. Nunes isn't in the testing pool at the moment, so that might take a little bit more extended time to get the fight done, but hopefully that one gets finalized for like December or something, possibly November, but maybe December. It might even be January, depending on the pool and how everything just comes to fruition. But I am keen for that fight, and I do not say I'm keen for bantamweight women's fights very lightly at all, or pretty much ever. So they're doing something right. Now, moving on to the fight card awards and kicking it off with the fight of the night award, we've got Salkilld versus Ashmouz. I think this fight was very entertaining. I mean, Salkilld was a heavy favorite in this matchup, which I thought we could really take advantage of with Ashmouz being almost like a 5-1 dog. Because Ashmouz, he is the technically better striker. He's got more power in his hands. That's what I predicted and I analyzed. And through this fight, I mean, that was quite evident as well. He did have the best strikes of the fight, especially through the third round. He was doing a fantastic job and really hurt Salkilld against the cage, was firing off some nice combinations, kind of looping the hooks, but they were landing. And Salkilld was definitely in a bit of trouble when it came to that third round. He was gassing out a bit, and Ashmouz was really headhunting him. And Ashmouz definitely won that third round, but I definitely think that Salkilld won this fight. Overall, I'm not making some stupid upset or anything like that. Salkilld definitely won this fight. The wrestling pedigree, just the advancements that he's made, just the improvements overall have been fantastic from his, especially his Dana White's Contender Series fight, because obviously fighting Anshul Jubilee and just absolutely chinning that guy in 19 seconds, we didn't get a lot of tape. We didn't get a lot of, we didn't get to see a lot from him. And man, he looked fantastic with the wrestling, the strength within the wrestling. Him being taller was just such a clutch thing for him in this matchup, because he was able to drag Ashmouz off his feet and really keep a stable base while he was dragging Ashmouz, dropping him to the ground, was taking him down really well, was just ragdolling him through the first and second round, to be honest. But Ashmouz just was very game. Like, he was scrambling effectively. He was using Granby rolls through the first round. He was able to get back up. He made the fight competitive. And, Salkilld had a big test in him, which I think this fight for Quillen and his experience overall is just so good for him, because I think he said it perfectly well in his post-fight speech, is that he showed that he's got knockout power, knocking out Anshul Jubilee in 19 seconds, but then he's also been able to show that he's got a heavy wrestling base, a new facet to his game that was heavily implemented here, not so much the striking, which is already shown, and he can show that he can go through a gritty, hard fight through 3 rounds, get hurt, and then still come out on top. So yeah, it was a great fight, great back and forth. I think Salkilld, he's someone that, honestly, I think he's someone that could use a bit of a well-rounded test. I think more so when it comes to a heavier grappling game as well, which I think Mike Davis would be a good shout for him to fight. Mike Davis is coming off a loss at the moment, but Davis is definitely game. He's got skills pretty much everywhere, and he's got the experience there too, which if Quillen can get past someone like Mike Davis, he's definitely looking good. And for Ashmouz, I think if he's going to stay in lightweight, I think we could see him versus Sadiq Yusuff. I think that that's a great fight up at that division. I think we could really see some good striking exchanges there. Just a real battle within the clinch exchanges as well. And, Sadiq Yusuff is on like a 3-fight loss streak, and beating someone like Ashmouz, who does have that striking threat there, I think that could really be a positive for him. And then Ashmouz beating someone like Sadiq Yusuff, who's been up around that top 15 before, is going to be a positive for him as well. So overall, Salkilld, Ashmouz had a fantastic fight of the night. Now, moving on to the finish of the night award, who could this be? Joosung Yoo, the Korean Zombies protege. This guy, oh my goodness, he is looking fantastic, like Peyton Talbot level coming out the gates. Hopefully he doesn't get, ragdolled by Rowdy Barcelos or anything like that, but Joosung Yoo, this guy is looking really good. I mean, he went in there against Jekasaragi on his debut, had a literal perfect performance. I think perfect is an insult to what this performance was. Absolutely incredible. Jekasaragi, as we know, the guy, a KO artist, coming forward, pressuring forward, and Joosung Yoo, the guy keeps his chin up. He keeps his chin up, keeps his chin high, he has a straight posture, and, his chin's there to be tagged, but when he's got the movement like he showed, moved straight out of the way, slipped out of the way of the jab, checked with the lead left hook, no power on it, just straight on the button, absolutely fucking fried Jekasaragi, went as stiff as a fucking board. Just ridiculous. Any follow-up shots, that's CTE central. That was a perfect performance. Joosung Yoo looks absolutely incredible. I thought he would be able to submit Jekasaragi, especially with the power threat that Jekasaragi does have. I didn't think he'd want to take chances on his debut and then take the fight to the ground and then hunt a submission there, which I'm confident he would be able to do, but not when your fight barely lasts 30 seconds. I mean, he literally just destroyed him. No sweat at all. Looked absolutely incredible. It's not much to say here because there's not much tape to study because he just fucking floored him. Now, who does he fight next? I think he's got to fight someone that has a bit more of a grappling threat, who isn't going to be really someone that's going to be headhunting him, especially now, and isn't going to be going into the fire. And I think someone like Khan Offley would be good. He's a guy that's, on the shorter side, really likes to use those clinch-based exchanges, cut off that distance, get the fight to the ground, hunt submissions. And he's a guy that has fought these, pretty top strikers before. And, he's fought like Myron Santos, got chinned by him. And I think that if he comes back and fights another one of these clearly dangerous strikers, if he can get him to the ground and really compete with him on the ground and nullify that striking, then he's definitely got a chance to win there. And Joosung Yoo, I mean, if he can literally just take him out again, like take Khan Offley out, who's a grappling-based guy, and especially if he's stuffing takedowns and then taking him out like that, the guy is going to be moving up hella quick. Just a beautiful finish of the night, no question. Now, moving on to the Performance of the Night award. This one definitely isn't easy because we had a lot of great performances. We had the main event with Merab. We had the co-main event with Kayla. We had Kevin Holland submitting Vicente Luque with his own choke. We had Joshua Van looking fantastic as well. But I want to give a bit of spotlight to someone that hasn't had spotlight on them before and is really deserved of it after all the shit that he's gone through with the fight cancellations and everything. Literally 3 fight cancellations to try and get his debut, which he's now got it, and he looked fantastic. Andreas Gustafsson absolutely mauling Chaos Williams from bell to bell. Absolutely destroyed him. I mean, Greco-Roman base really coming in clutch there, nullifying Chaos Williams striking at range, just pushed him up against the cage, was just destroying him with elbows, took him down, just consumed him. He was the one that was putting on all the pace, and Chaos Williams was the one that was getting tired. And Gustafsson was not showing any signs of slowing down. He is a massive welterweight as well. Huge. Absolutely huge. He would cut a lot of weight to get to welterweight, and there's no cardio concerns there. It's seriously impressive. And yeah, the spotlight seriously needs to be on that performance because he 30-26'd Chaos Williams. And I thought Chaos Williams would be able to KO him because at range, he's still not great. Andreas Gustafsson, I will say, even still, even though he had such a fantastic performance there, if he goes against a crisp counter striker in that division, I mean, even so like someone like a Leon Edwards, even like an Ian Gary, Carlos Prates, he's getting chinned. I would strongly believe that because his striking at range is just poor. But if he fixes that up, he's a fucking demon. He is dangerous. It's super dangerous. Physical presence is insane. And he doesn't have a lot of time left. He's 34 years old, but if he keeps active and with the pace that he's got here, he can definitely make waves before he leaves the prime age range. Just a lot of spotlight on him. Just mauling Chaos Williams. Williams was a mess. I mean, he's lost his last 2 fights now. And I would say this one was almost arguably worse than that submission loss to Gabriel Bonfim. So Chaos Williams is in the pits at the moment, and he was a $1.50 to $2.50 favorite. I mean, he was a favorite. Gustafsson, you know, was a pretty moderate underdog. And yeah, I hope you guys made some money on that one because Gustafsson looked incredible. And so with Gustafsson not having too much time left, who should he fight? I do believe that he should actually fight someone that can really, just really put on a pace himself. And I believe that's Li Jingliang, because Li Jingliang will not only have a high output, a high pace fight that can really compete with that cardio, but he's also someone that can strike at range, keep a really competitive fight within the clinch as well, and can see what happens if it ever gets to the ground too. So there's a lot of questions in there, and questions make great fights. So let's see that one happen. Now moving on to the upset of the night award. We have Mario Bautista, everyone's favorite fighter. And Mario Bautista did an absolutely fantastic bloody job in this fight. Patchy Mix got absolutely fucking schooled. And look, I've made videos on Patchy Mix before. I've made the Fighter Spotlight videos, the Fighter Spotlight series on him. And I know his fights very well. I know his fight style very well. I know his tape. I've seen his tape. I've seen a lot of his fights, a lot. And the style of fighter that he is, I can translate it to you now. He completely froze in this fight. Completely froze, threw his game plan out the fucking window. His corner didn't help much at all either. His corner was pretty dog shit. Didn't give him any actual advice to find any form of advantageous position from round to round and really find holes that could be capitalized on. And they didn't do anything. And Patchy Mix, man, in 15 minutes, literally a casual could understand this. In 15 minutes, you are only shooting one takedown over those 15 minutes. And after the first 5 minutes of getting pieced the fuck up, you don't, in the last 10 minutes, shoot a takedown. That is insane to me. Absolutely insane, because he is a grappler, a fantastic grappler. 13-0 with submissions. He's literally gone from pre-fight speeches being super confident, saying, I'm the best bantamweight in the world, this, that, the other. Nothing wrong with that. The thing that is wrong is that he's gone and said that Mario Bautista is a journeyman and he will submit him and submit his whole team. You're not submitting him if you're not shooting a takedown and getting him to the ground to where you can actually submit him. That's your problem. Patchy Mix didn't do anything, in part with his game plan that is so successful within his career. Literally, the fact that he was 20-1 is down to 13 of those wins being submissions. Why was he standing? He has got shit head movement. He's always had bad head movement. His hands are quite straight away from his face. Again, like this fight. He likes to utilize a quick jab. Mario Bautista is fast. He's a guy that you need to be getting to the ground, and you should have invited takedowns from Mario Bautista. But the thing is, Mario Bautista was using fight IQ, and he's like, if I keep this on the feet, I'm going to win because I know I'm faster. I've got the more natural output. He was utilizing much more volume. The guy landed almost 200 fucking strikes. Mario Bautista played the game plan that he needed to play. And just like the Jose Aldo fight, like Mario Bautista did exactly what he needed to do. It was Jose Aldo's fault that he couldn't get off the cage. Mario Bautista is doing nothing wrong. He's literally winning in the best way possible. He's taking the least amount of damage or, the least amount of risk to getting finished, which if he took Patchy Mix down, he could have easily got submitted without a doubt. Patchy Mix did not utilize his game plan at all. He went from Patchy Mix to Patchy Mid. That is the problem here. Patchy Mix just, he's a good fighter. I can tell you, he's a good fighter. I believe he's a top 5 to top 10 fighter. At the best of his best, I think he is that. Is he a UFC champion? No, I don't think so. I don't see that happening. I think anyone above Bautista, more so around your Yarns, your O'Malley's, like your Merabs, anyone around those areas, anyone that has dynamic striking there and somewhat decent takedown defense, Patchy Mix is going to struggle so fucking badly. That's just simple as that. And yeah, upset of the night, 100. I got Patchy Mix wrong. Thought it was a split decision. I don't care. I'm really happy for Mario Bautista in this matchup. He, without a doubt, deserved this damn win. He is one of the most underrated fighters in this bloody bantamweight division. I said that months and months and months ago in my most underrated fighters of every division video, and he's sticking to that. He seriously is. Mario Bautista is honestly the dark horse in that bantamweight division. And yeah, credit to him. He definitely deserved that win with the volume he used. Didn't do anything stupid with takedowns to get into a submission-based threat from Patchy. and Patchy didn't take him down. So Mario Bautista, honestly, fantastic job from him. Who should Mario Bautista be fighting next? I think, honestly, he deserves someone like Sean O'Malley and getting that kind of level of recognition, because it's bullshit. They didn't even give him a post-fight speech. I reckon it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I think he should be fighting someone like maybe like Song Yadong. I think that would be a pretty high-stakes fight. Maybe Song Yadong or like Figueiredo, Davidson Figueiredo, one of those two. You know, both Song Yadong and Figgy got power in their hands. That combats the volume of Mario Bautista, and both have a ground game. So I definitely think that that would make for an interesting matchup, because they're well-rounded. Mario Bautista's well-rounded. So I'd really like to see that one happen. Now, Patchy Mix. Who does Patchy Mix fight? Patchy, I think, honestly, it's one of these struggles where you're looking at Pitbull as well. Do you give him a top 15 fight? Do you actually even have him in the rankings? Like, realistically, I mean, he especially Patchy, compared to, you know, Pitbull put up a little bit more of a fight against Yair, and Yair's a higher ranked fighter anyway. Yair's in like the top 5, whereas Patchy's fighting someone that's 10th ranked. And so I honestly don't think Patchy should be ranked. I don't think so. I don't think he deserves it. I think that he should be fighting. I think he can fight someone that is ranked. I think they will do it. Being realistic, I think they will do it. I think they'll give him someone like Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips is someone that's got grappling. He's well-rounded. I mean, he doesn't have the craziest striking overall in general. He's not a super big threat on the feet, and I think that that's something that, you know, really could give Patchy a chance, but it's not really about giving chances. But yeah, if Patchy's not beating someone like Kyler Phillips, then yeah, he's just not at that top UFC caliber. That's just simple as that. I think we should definitely be seeing that fight sometime soon. Both are coming off losses now. Obviously, Kyler Phillips to Rob Font. And yeah, I think we could make that one. We could make that one probably later in the year. Patchy Mix took a bit of damage because he didn't have much head movement. So yeah, possibly that fight or someone higher up the rankings potentially. But otherwise, maybe like I couldn't even give him a name in Zahabi, to be honest. It's kind of tough to see who you could give him. Honestly, I'd probably be looking at that Kyler Phillips. But otherwise, yeah, maybe someone even closer to outside the rankings. And you could even give him like Bryce Mitchell. If Bryce Mitchell's coming down to bantamweight, if he's actually deciding to fully do that, Bryce Mitchell versus Patchy Mix, grappling-based fight, I think that is a way to go, definitely, because they've both got name value. Now, lastly, looking at our Fighter to Watch award, I've got to give it to Azamat Murzakanov. This guy was my lock of the night. I literally had on my bet slip KO in round 1, and what did he do? He got it done. Azamat Murzakanov is the dark horse of that light heavyweight division. Granted, he's like 36 years old now, so he's getting up there, but showing no signs of slowing down. The guy is so damn good. Absolutely destroyed Brenton Ribeiro. Had absolutely no doubts about that happening. Brenton Ribeiro has very limited boxing, utilized a lot of straight strikes, no like looping shots or anything like that, no hooks. And Azamat just got one strike straight to that bloody forehead, just sent him on skates, frozen like Elsa, dropped to the ground, and then he tapped to strikes. It was that bad. Azamat Murzakanov is just so good. Like, there's not much to say about him, really. His boxing pedigree is seriously up there with the best of the division, without a doubt. I mean, his grappling hasn't even been tested because no one's been able to survive long enough to fucking fight him on the ground. And light heavyweight just isn't strong within the grappling department anyway, so he's definitely right there in the mix. The one thing I'll say that is a bit of an issue for him, which going against these like bigger guys that are more talented, like your Jamal Hills, like your Alex Pereiras, Carlos Olbergs, that guys have like 78-inch reach plus, Yuri Prohatska, is that he has a 71.5-inch reach, which definitely is an issue when it comes to closing the distance against these guys that have good distance management and can pick him apart at range. That's where it's going to be a bit dangerous for him. But moving through at the moment, he is just looking like an absolute killer. Like anyone from 7 to 15 in the division, like they're pretty much all getting floored, except for maybe Zhang Ming Yang. But aside from that, yeah, he's looking like a killer. And I think Volkan Oezdemir is probably next on his hit list. I think that's a great matchup to make. Both have very good power, very strong. Both are very dense. And Volkan Oezdemir has a wealth of experience against high-caliber opposition. He's got KO power in his hands. And, I mean, Azamat versus him, someone's definitely going to sleep, and I'm definitely here for it. But, yeah, absolutely, lock of the night, perfect performance, beautiful finish from Azamat Murzakanov, and a great UFC 316 card overall. I really did enjoy it. Yeah, I thought like Sergey Spivak could have won that fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta, but it was here nor there. I mean, he had the 6 strike advantage, so I wasn't really upset about that one. But yeah, 9 out of 13, not too bad. I hope you guys did good on your picks and your bets as well. And I will catch you in the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a good night.